Hey viewers, you're watching the Savera and I'm Vidhi Joshi. French Prime Minister Sebastien Lecornu resigned today, just hours after naming his new cabinet, ending a term that lasted only 27 days, making him the shortest-serving Prime Minister of France since the founding of the Fifth Republic in 1958. President Emmanuel Macron accepted his resignation early Monday morning, further deepening the ongoing political crisis in France. Lecornu's resignation comes less than a month after his appointment, which was itself an attempt by Macron to restore stability following a series of political missteps and legislative defeats. Lecornu, a close ally of Macron and former defense minister, had spent the past few weeks in intensive consultations with centrist allies and opposition leaders in an attempt to secure a non-aggression pact in the deeply fractured French parliament. Despite all these efforts, he was unable to win sufficient support across party lines. On Sunday evening, he finally unveiled his cabinet, which was widely criticized for its lack of renewal, as 12 of the 18 ministers had already served under his ousted predecessor, Francois Bayrou. This announcement triggered an immediate backlash not only from opposition leaders, but also from members of Macron's own centrist coalition. The conservative Republicans were particularly angered by the controversial return of Bruno Le Maire, former economy minister, as the new defense minister. Other critics from across the political spectrum condemned the cabinet for recycling the same political figures and for lacking ambition at a moment when France is facing multiple crises. The new government was scheduled to hold its first official meeting on Monday, a plan that never materialized as Lecornu tendered his resignation in the morning. The fallout was swift and severe. Far-right Rassemblement national leader Jordan Bardella called for immediate snap elections, stating that there can be no return to stability without a return to the polls and without the dissolution of the Assemblée Nationale. From the left, La France Insoumise leader Jean-Luc Mélenchon demanded a motion to remove Macron from office entirely, while prominent MP Mathilde Panot declared on social media that the countdown has begun, Macron must go. This is the third government collapse under Macron in just 2 months. Lecornu's predecessor, Francois Bayrou, and Michel Barnier were both forced out in quick succession after confrontations with Parliament over an unpopular austerity budget and a deteriorating economic situation. Macron had hoped Lecornu, only 39 years old and a loyal ally, would be able to stabilize the government. But the gamble has now spectacularly failed. France is now facing unprecedented political instability. Macron, who has already cycled through 7 prime ministers since 2017, must now decide whether to push forward with yet another appointment or heed growing calls for fresh legislative elections. Many argue that Macron's authority has been seriously undermined since his failed gamble on snap elections in the summer, which resulted in a fragmented parliament divide into 3 dominant blocs, none of which holds a majority. Economic pressures are compounding the political crisis. France's public debt is at an all-time high, and the country now has the 3rd highest debt-to-GDP ratio in the European Union, behind only Greece and Italy. Efforts to pass an austerity budget have failed repeatedly, largely due to fierce resistance across party lines. Olivier Faure, leader of the Socialist Party, which holds a swing vote in the National Assembly, remarked that Macron's group is imploding and that the government has no legitimacy left. The sense of collapse was echoed across French media and political commentary throughout Monday, as attention now turns to who might be tapped to succeed Lecornu or whether France is headed towards a broader political reckoning. As of today morning, the LEC has yet to announce a successor, and Lecornu was expected to make a public statement. The government's paralysis and lack of a clear path forward are raising alarm, both in France and across Europe, as the country struggles to manage internal instability alongside economic fragility and external pressures. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment and subscribe to the channel.